Syrian hack, and protecting your identity. So I've been doing some research for all the lovely people out there who are concerned about this, and rightfully so. And how to protect your identity, what to do going forward, since, if you've been compromised, your social security number has been compromised. And your social security number has been compromised, that's a bad thing. So I was able to do some research, found some information on how you can actually get a new social security number. And surprise, surprise, it's not easy. When is working with the government ever easy? The source is, of course, WikiHow, as you can see here. I'll just go through the key points here, and then I'll show you the form you'll have to fill out. So you know, if you want to go through with this, or even if you qualify to go through with this, what that actually means. Making sure I'm actually properly broadcasting. Yeah, I'm properly broadcasting. Good, good, good. Alright, first point of note. Understanding what does not qualify for a new card. You cannot receive a new Social Security number just because you want one. New Social Security numbers will not be assigned for the following reasons. To avoid the consequences of filing bankruptcy. To solve your credit problems. To solve your credit problems. To solve your credit... Sorry. Gotta keep some levity. This is pretty messed up shit. If you intend to avoid the law or your legal responsibilities, if your Social Security card is lost or stolen, but there's no evidence of identity theft. And that's kind of a big one, because technically speaking with this Experian thing, if your Social Security card is lost or stolen, but there's no evidence of identity theft, here's where things start to get a little bit dicey. Because unless you've got evidence of identity theft, meaning you've already been compromised and somebody is messing with you, you can't get a new Social Security number. However, if you want to roll the dice and do that Experian website thing where they tell you whether your number is one of the ones that are compromised and print that out, that might qualify, considering that would be proof that your identity has been compromised. But again, that means giving your Social Security number and your name to Experian who have already been compromised. So if you're really worried about cutting things off at the pass before they become an issue, that's the kind of risk you're going to have to take. You're going to have to give Experian your information to see if you've been compromised. Of course, don't sign up for their little protection racket. By no means do that. Don't do that whatsoever. But if you want to roll the dice with giving them some information, that's up to you. So, you can get a new Social Security number after becoming the victim of identity theft. Standard rules of what identity theft is here. Or if it's to protect your life. If you're the victim of domestic violence or other situations, then you can get a new Social Security number as you sort of try and move away from that abusive area and be less trackable by someone who just knows the old one. So if you're under the effect of domestic abuse, you qualify. There's a third one, though. If your number's a duplicate, that's a rare one. But there are cases of people having duplicate numbers. You can get a new Social Security number. But this is an interesting one. If you have religious objections to your current number, say, for example, containing 666, for example, you may qualify for a new number. So those are your key points. You have to be a victim of identity theft, a victim of domestic abuse, a victim of duplication, or a victim of religious objections. Those are the 4 ways you qualify for a new Social Security number. Now, to do that, you have to fill out a form. The form is located here, socialsecurity.gov/online. Copy link location. I'll put it into both of our lovely chats here. Am I actually in general? No, I'm not in general. And the form the form requires a lot of information that you kind of expect with any government form. You'll need to provide your full legal name. If your legal name is changed at birth, you also need to provide your full legal name at birth, plus any other names you've used as well. Form required to write down your original Social Security number. Provide your place and date of birth. Also indicate whether there was a different date of birth variously specified on an earlier application. Indicate your citizenship status. U.S. citizen, legal alien, and allowed to work, legal alien, not allowed to work, or other. Provide your ethnicity, race, as well as your sex. Write down your mother and father's full names at the time of their birth, as well as their Social Security numbers, if applicable. Indicate that you have received a number in the past, and write down the name on. You have received a number in the past, and write down the name on your most recent issued card. Include the present date, your daytime phone number, and your mailing address. Finish by signing your full name to the document. You must also indicate if you are the person whose number will be changed or the legal parent or guardian of the person in question. And what does the form look like? We're going to look at that right now. Let's actually zoom out to this one. So obviously they have all of their, you cannot use this form for this and this, the stuff that no one ever reads. And plus, we're just doing kind of an overview here, so I'm obviously not going to read 4 pages of documentation. But the meat and the potatoes are here on the 5th page. Now, of course, if you, like me, have Adobe's Acrobat Reader, or most Acrobat readers, you can see the text fields highlighted in blue, and you can actually type them up on your computer. Like that. And then save that and print that, or fax that, or however you're going to send it to them. Obviously, otherwise, you have to print it up and type it by hand. But doing it digitally is always best, because then it'll be nice and typed in text and all that stuff. So, name to be shown on the card, first, middle, last. Full name, date of birth, if other than above, first name and last. Other names used, field there. Social Security number previously assigned. Place of birth, date of birth, citizenship data, ethnicity data, race, sex, parents' names, and their Social Security numbers. Have they received a Social Security number before? Today's date, daytime phone number, mailing address, you know, all the stuff we just talked about, the relationship with that person in question. Fill all of this lovely, lovely, lovely stuff out, and then you can begin the process of actually, you know, requesting a new Social Security number. Trying to get up to the relevant part here. And of course, always useful to have your other documents on hand, such as a driver's license, state-issued non-driver's license, passport, so on and so forth. Because usually when you do something with the government, you're going to need lots of other corroborating documentation, which is always good, especially when your extendee is concerned. Proof of citizenship can be formed of a birth certificate, a passport, certificate of naturalization. You provide your aid with a birth certificate or passport. Proof of name change can only come in the form of an original or certified copy of the court order document. You must have evidence to support your request, so you can't simply state the reason for wanting a new number. Regardless of your reason needing a new number, you must provide a written statement and current, credible, third-party evidence documenting the reasons for needing a new number. And again, this goes back to the thing we were talking about previously, where if you want to roll the dice and do the experience thing, that might count as actionable evidence, because it shows that you have been compromised. The Social Security Administration states that the best evidence for abuse comes from third parties, include police and medical personnel. You should obtain the reports that describe the nature and extent of harassment, abuse, or life endangerment. If you share it with another person, or other evidence is required in any materials you have to show that your number is a duplicate. Because any picture you have of both you and the other Social Security card, a number that has the same number of you. If you have religious or cultural objections, you need a written documentation in support of the alleged objection, and you need to demonstrate that you have an established connection to that culture or religion. Turn over your application and documents to the nearest Social Security office or Social Security Card Center. You have to find whichever one's in your local area. They will review and process your information. You can turn it in at the office. You can find your nearest Social Security number, card center, at secureSSA.gov icon.main.jsp. Again, when I upload this to BoobTube later, I'll provide both of these links. And then I just talked about how you get one if you've never had one, which I don't think is relevant to us in this particular situation where we're talking about getting a new Social Security number if you believe it has been compromised by Experian. So that's the process, folks. Remember, about a third of the population of the United States has been compromised, so chances are you're one of them. Hope this was helpful. And you have a safe day. Peace out.